What's up, y'all? Slinko here with another video. Today, taking every team's worst starter and then replacing them with one of that team's all-time greats. Now, ideally, I would try to keep like everybody in their position and just replace, like, if their worst starter was a point guard, replace them with that team, like a point guard who played on that team previously from the all-time team. But in some circumstances, I feel like some players weren't good enough to do that. For the Raptors, for example, I'm gonna use Raptors as an example. I feel like they are the best one. Their worst player in 2K, I went off like the ratings, was Jakob Poeltl. Their worst starter was Jakob Poeltl. But before they did trade for him, Siakam was running a lot of center, which had Scotty Barnes at the 4 for real. So I just brought in Vince Carter to play a 3 instead of bringing in what would have been like Antonio Davis, I think, to be the center. And like, come on, like we can do better than Antonio Davis. As for other teams though, we're going to go first thing first, the 76ers. Another team I made a slight change for. They bring in Dr. J, and then Tobias Harris moves over to the 4 as they lose PJ Tucker. The Bucks lose Joe Ingles, I believe, was the... I think Grayson Allen actually started. The Bucks run some weird lineups for us. They were in a team I was too worried about getting it to right. It was just whoever the shooting guard is, now it's Sidney Moncrief. The Bulls bring in Derrick Rose, and I believe they lost out on Patrick Beverley, who, I mean, he started every game on the Bulls, but there was only like 20 games. You could argue. Initially, I was going to replace Patrick Williams, but I feel like Patrick Beverley. And then, I mean, Lonzo's also still here, but we're just going to basically ignore Lonzo. Cavs, of course, bring in LeBron, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade. Caris LeVert started a little bit small forward too. No real consistent 3 there, so just LeBron. The Celtics bring in Kevin McHale, losing out on Al Horford. Now this is another one that was a little iffy between, I think, Derek White or Al Horford replacing them. But Robert Williams started most of the games since he came back from injury, so I just considered Al Horford that starting 4. The Clippers get Blake Griffin and lose out on Marcus Morris, who started most of the season. I know he didn't start at the end of the season for the Clippers, but he was primary starter. The Grizzlies bring in Rudy Gay, taking out Dillon Brooks, I believe. And I upgraded Rudy Gay a little bit because I feel like 85 is a little comfy. I feel like he was probably higher than that at some points. But Rudy Gay was smooth for real. Like, y'all don't... Like, this whole era probably, even in Sacramento, like, he was even smooth, like, recently to a point. Like, Rudy Gay was that dude for a minute. So I brought in him to be small forward. The Hawks bring in Bob Pettit, losing out on John Collins. Now I'm looking at this. Or no, I think John Collins, DeAndre Hunter were the same overall. Or no, John Collins was at 80, which is kind of wild how he's fallen off. He was like a 2010 guy a couple seasons ago. The Heat bring in Chris Bosh and lose Caleb Martin. Hornets bring in Larry Johnson, lose PJ Washington. The Jazz bring in Pistol Pete and lose, I believe, Ochai Agbaji. I feel like he had the most starts because they were starting Mike Conley the first half season, then he got traded. The Kings bring in Boogie and move Sabonis to the 4 and lose Keegan Murray. Knicks bring in Patrick Ewing, lose Mitchell Robinson. Lakers bring in Shaq and lose Jared Vanderbilt. T-Mac comes in for Gary Harris on the Magic. Dirk comes in for Reggie Bullock on the Mavs. Jason Kidd comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith on the Nets, and then everybody just moved up a position because I feel like they could all play these positions. Nuggets get David Thompson, lose KCP. The Pacers bring in Jermaine O'Neal and lose, I believe Aaron Nesmith played the most power forward starts. But this was another weird team. I think 2K had him listed as a small forward, which didn't really make sense. I feel like I remember him starting a good amount too. I didn't watch too much of the Pacers, but you know. Pelicans bring in Chris Paul, and then CJ moves over to the 2. They lose out on Herb Jones. Pistons bring back Dennis Rodman, losing out on Isaiah Stewart. I already talked about the Raptors. The Rockets bring in James Harden, losing Jabari Smith Jr., but Kevin Martin Jr. played some power forward early in his career, and he probably still do get some power forward minutes. So I moved him up, and KPJ was small forward mainly on the Cavs, so I feel like he's capable of that. And James Harden, of course, moved to the point instead of playing the 2. Spurs get Tim Duncan, lose on Jeremy Sohan. The Suns bring in Sean Marion. and lose Josh Okogie. The Thunder bring in Sean Kemp to play center and lose out on Jalen Williams. Not this Jalen Williams, the other one. Timberwolves probably bring in their worst person with Wally Szczerbiak because they just had a whole bunch of bigs for them. They still have Cat and Towns, so I didn't really I wouldn't really say Kevin Love or KG could really play the 3. I mean, I think KG played the 3 like his rookie year, but I wouldn't really count that too much. Trailblazers lose Matisse Thybulle, bring in Clyde Drexler, and then Warriors bring in Wilt, losing Kevon Looney, and then lastly and sorta not least, I mean it might be least, Wes Unseld comes in on the Wizards and they lose Daniel Gafford. So we're gonna do one season, similar to see which legend impacts their team the most, and scuba doobie, see what the fuck happens. Coming to the All-Star break is Team LeBron and Team Tim Duncan. And honestly, I just thought about it, and it's kind of late. Like, I tried not to do duplicates for anybody. Did I do Chris Paul? Okay. I did Chris Paul and LeBron. Cause I feel like for, Timberwolves, I didn't want to do Jimmy. And, I feel like I avoided some people. But I guess I just forgot my rules. But yeah, Chris Paul and LeBron have duplicates. Nobody else does. But fuck it, we ball. We already here. So, out of our guys, we brought in All-Stars Tim Duncan, Wilt, Jason Kidd, Tracy McGrady, Wes Unseld, Shaq, Clyde. James Harden also got a duplicate. Pistol Pete, Derrick Rose, Dirk, LeBron, Chris Paul, Vince Carter, Bob Pettit, Patrick Ewing. And that's most of the All-Stars. I don't think, Joel Embiid's not in here. I saw Giannis, I saw Tatum, a lot of important guys. I don't think Steph is doing anything. The award races, we have Wilt, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Bob Pettit, all in the MVP race. Defense Player of the Year, Patrick Ewing. Was that Patrick Ewing? Doesn't even look like he made some all defensive second teams. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really imagine Patrick Ewing as hey, low-key, maybe he was like that. Maybe I'm gonna let 2K slide on it. Wes Unseld averaging 7 assists a game. I guess. Wilt, Tim Duncan, Shaq in Defensive Player of the Year talk. And I assume nobody's the most improved yet, and that stuff. Low-key, I am interested in the dunk contest in this video too with some of the guys I did bring in. So we're going to check out that, see if, that has any intrigue there. I will watch it. I'm going to check out the standings too, because I low-key almost forgot. And the league. Not league leaders can wait. The standings right now. Hawks with Bob Pettit. Cavs with LeBron. Bucks with Sidney Moncrief, I believe. Dr. J and the 76ers are the main teams. Bottom of the East is Dennis Rodman, and the Dennis Rodman is shooting threes for some reason. That's cool. Dennis Rodman and the Pistons, and then you have T-Mac and the Magic. Let's say 10 assists a game. Let's be real, 2K. And Loki, this is something not a lot of people probably know. T-Mac's stats are messed up in 2K. His assists are supposed to be his steals are supposed to be his assists, and then his fouls, and all that shit's fucked up. And it's been like this for years, but I don't think anybody knows but me. 2K needs to get this together. But yeah, looking at his actual system, he got up to 6.5, but 10 is probably wild. Then out west we have the Jazz with Pistol Pete, and then the Rockets of James Harden at the bottom, and then at the top of the West we have Denver with David Thompson. I was going to say David Robinson, Shaq and the Lakers, Wilt and the Warriors, and then Chris Paul and the Pelicans. We don't care about 3 contests. The dunk contest. Not one, we brought in Vince Carter in this league, and I feel like LeBron's here, Sean Kemp. We brought in a lot of dunkers. The fact that not one of them in the dunk contest, wow. Team LeBron wins the All-Star game too, but who cares about that? We'll check back in at the end of the season, see who gets what awards and who can win this ring. At the end of the season, we see LeBron getting MVP on the Cavs. Jaden Ivey Rookie of the Year. Tyler Hero, 6th man. Patrick Ewing does end up being Defense Player of the Year. Sengun Most Improved. And then still the Hawks. Actually, the Hawks are always in 2K. I literally say it every year. I was kind of surprised with Bob Pettit getting them that far, but it's just the Hawks. It's not even Bob Pettit. T-Mac, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Wilt on first team. Second team, Bob Pettit, Jason Kidd. Third team, Chris Paul, Vince Carter, Wes Unseld. All defensive teams. We got our guys here. We'll just sim through the plan. I'm gonna go game by game. I'm gonna try to catch every game 7. I've been kind of lacking on that front, I'll say. See if we get any interesting matchups. I assume I'll show y'all league leaders too since we're here. I be forgetting shit like this sometimes. Luka led the league in points, followed by Ja, T-Mac, Shea, and Trey. So not really any of our guys. Rebounds, Wilt, Wes Unseld, Tim Duncan, Patrick Ewing, Bob Pettit. Assists, R. Chris Paul, Luka, R. LeBron, Trey, Tyrese Halliburton. Steals, R. Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Wes Unseld, LaMelo, Tyrese Halliburton. Blocks, Wilt, Patrick Ewing, Tim Duncan, Wes Unseld, and Walker Kessler. Turnovers, R. Chris Paul, Shea, Luka, Ja, and Wes Unseld. The top 5 in turnovers as a center is interesting. We'll let it slide. So far, nothing really going on in the first round. We got a couple sweeps, not too surprised about it, but let's see. We got a couple competitive series too. And we have one game 7 between OKC. Really? OKC with Sean Kemp is going 7 games with a Lakers team that has Shaq. And OKC is a better seed too. That's really wild. And it looks like OKC is going to take it. They're up 20.5. Lakers are bringing it back a little bit though. And whoa. We'll jump in. I'll jump in as much as I can. You know, gotta make the video a little longer if I can. Laker ball, down 3. Be controlling anybody. Make sure you're on 2K angle. And I'm sorry if y'all hear like the thunder in the background. It's just raining hard as fuck right now. But I don't. I'm already recording, already here. AD's not having a great game. LeBron and Shaq are doing their thing. And Shea's leading the Thunder, and Sean Kemp is shooting 5 for 17. Laker ball, Lakers having, Dennis Schroeder. No LeBron out there. I don't know if he fouled out. Dennis Schroeder, Shaq almost does it easy. D'Lo for 3 off. Is this just going to turn into a foul game? No foul. Okay. And they do, that's a bad foul. 2K's foul logic is bad. That's still a 6-second difference on the clock. Kenny Hustle at the free throw line. He makes the first one. Lakers bring in LeBron. That's just, 2K is so bad, foul logic. Like, I feel like there was like 18 seconds or something on the shot clock by the time they fouled him. Like, that's like 8 seconds down 3. Like, you can work with that. You just got to get a stop. Not one NBA team, high school team, college. I mean, maybe a high school team. Not one NBA team or any professional team, any college team making that foul. And Troy Brown's out here, which is kind of interesting. I guess he ran into LeBron with Lou Dort on him. They are down 5, so he probably wants something quick. LeBron goes straight at it. Good little, I wouldn't even call that a floater. I don't know what to call it. Lakers are probably going to foul again, as they should. 2 more free throws. I mean, we are going to assume the Thunder are already just going to take this, which is wild that they're even, like, I wouldn't even really see them as a playoff team. So the fact that they're coming out here and, like, taking, all right, 4-point game. That's manageable if the Lakers play this right. They get something quick. LeBron stops, almost pulls at AD. Big shot by AD. Cut the lead down to 1. Still no timeouts. They're going to foul. They foul Shea. I don't know how good of a free throw shooter Shea is. I feel like he's like an 80-ish% type of guy. Shea misses the first one. Makes the second. 8 seconds on the clock. We would have to assume LeBron's getting the shot. We'll see. He gets up the court. Tween, step. Ooh. LeBron. And in not back-to-back video. There should be a video between. It might be back-to-back. LeBron and Michael Jordan both failed to close the game. I mean, LeBron just didn't get a good shot. Like, at least Michael Jordan just choked it. LeBron, I mean, he sort of did too, but like at least like he got an okay shot up. Mike didn't even, like, that was a travesty for me to see. And I'm stupid. Okay. My fault. We're gonna force this one to the Thunder because I clicked out of it before the game on it. But we know the Thunder won, so we're gonna, you know. And these aren't the exact stats they had, but we know what happened. We know what was supposed to happen. As second round, this series not too competitive. I mean, a little competition between the Clippers. Like a couple okay series and wow. And we got another game 7 with Sidney Moncrief and the Bucks, and then the Hawks with Bob Pettit. The Hawks just be OP in 2K, so the fact that this is even a contest, I feel like it's wild. The Bucks team is just that much better. But the Hawks take a good lead. The Bucks are sort of closing it. Hawks win it. So we have a Bob Pettit Hawks, and then Kevin McHale, I believe, Celtics team going at it. And then on the other side, we have Wilt and the Warriors going against Chris Paul and the Pelicans. Two on the West. The Hawks, they would make it to the finals. And the Pelicans, Chris Paul has led the Pelicans this far, which sort of does make sense. I mean, giving them that type of point guard, really playmaking, and then CJ can focus on scoring again. I mean, Brandon Ingram's going to do what Brandon Ingram does. Zion gets somebody, throw him lobs and everything. And then, I don't even, Valanciunas he's fine. His rebound is kind of low. I don't know what that's really about. And then on the Warriors side, though, really surprised to see them lose, bringing in the Wilt and losing out Kevin Looney, like really just filtering out their starting lineup. And Wilt was in MVP talks for most of the season, and he played great in the postseason. Well, kind of a mid-finals, honestly, considering all the people we did bring into the league. But let's see. Hawks take game 1. Pels take game 2. Pels take game 3. Hawks take game 4. Hawks take game 5. Almost said the wrong bird. Game 6, we're going to simcast. We'll simcast 6 and if there is a 7. It was low-key close, but the Pels, the Hawks ran away with it, and Bob Pettit gets MVP. Finals MVP. So Bob Pettit replacing John Collins will make the biggest impact in the NBA, apparently. We love 2K. We love 2K.